Hey gas mask collectors, the artillery boy here, and today we're going to be talking about the Spanish artilleria or mascara antigas artilleria. Let us begin. Most of my masks are very much of modern through World War II. World War II, it's some of them. Most of them is US and a couple, like one French mask. But this one is rather my oldest mask I have ever owned. Now I know it's not the oldest mask ever made. I mean, there's a lot of other ones. But let's begin with the history of the mask, or might be of. This mask in particular is made by the company DAGSA, and these masks were used during at the Spanish Civil War and after the Spanish Civil War. Now, this is very much of a copy of a German Volksmaske 735. And that's the most information we ever get from this mask. Yeah, not a lot of history behind this whole thing. But let's talk about the mask itself. Now, the mask itself, let's talk about the front itself first. This has made by some weird material, the whole face piece of the mask. It's actually have this canvas made with some parts welded on there. Some of the rubber pieces have been welded on there, I think it is. And then like on the sides of the mask, like inside the mask, this thing is made out of like leather. Yes, even inside the mask is made of leather. Yeah, it's have this weird material of having canvas on the outside and having this leather feel inside the mask. We got the inhale assembly, and then we got the exhale. Let's go look inside the mask, alongside with the very much of the strap to use as a necklace. Now the harness itself is very much of a 5-point harness on top of the mask, with the adjustments right there to adjust the mask. And of course we got a strap just to hold on the bottom of the mask. Now, inside the mask, now it has this very much leather seal with it on the edge of it. And then we got the inhale assembly and then the exhale assembly with a support chin. And of course, we got a very much famous stamp right here. This is very much for inspection of the mask, thus hinting the name of it. And pretty much this translates to artillery. Yes, that's what it is. Inside of it, you can definitely know inside that's for the inhale, and then we get to the exhale. This thing's definitely pretty fragile in here. Yeah, this thing itself. To actually support around it with, again, leather right inside of it, with the glass eyepieces. Now the mask itself, and let's talk about this, very much is a 40 millimeter. Unlike the other, US, unlike the British, US, and even the Russian masks, some of them, this thing, most of them, like the Germans and mostly the Axis masks, I think, having the 40 millimeter thread, which that's interesting to look at it. And of course, we got the diaphragm with this. So let's go talk about the filter itself. Unfortunately for the mask that I own, did not came with a canister, but it did came with a filter. Yes, the filter very much is made by the company CMP. Now, this is definitely contains asbestos, so I think don't use that. Even having the timestamp on there. And you could definitely see what's directly inside of it. Even like covering it to testing the seal won't really work. Let's go see what the mask looks like. So this is what it would look like with the filter on. Now you can put like hoses and other stuff on there, things like hoses. I think it's possibly best to use it with this, but hoses are okay. Let's go try on the mask, but we're not going to be using the filter to it.
So this is what it sounds like with the mask on.
Now, I'm not going to be pretty brutal with the mask at all because it's a pretty old mask, and you can see that's like the World War I masks. You can definitely know that some of the stuff is kind of a bit falling to pieces, like that hole right there. Now, the cons of it, and yes, like, that can it very much be forgiven that this is a pretty old mask. They don't have like drinking straws at the time. They don't have like a lot of the stuff that nowadays something like this is very much expected. Voice emitter and BPUs and all that stuff. But it's quite a bit a pretty nice mask at the time. So my final verdict on the mask has to be going to an 8 out of 10. I think it's a quite nice mask, but the thing is, they can pretty much fall apart, or rather, this whole entire thing was green, and you could see some of the colors there, but that whole thing kind of chipped off, and the flapper paste is, well, making holes. But I'm going to be a little forgiving to the mask, because it's a pretty old mask. So, yeah, that wraps up this entire Spanish artillery mask. Well, I'm Gas Mask Collector, and I'm signing out.